The town of Bourke is somewhere I used to visit regularly. It's in the far northwestern part of New South Wales, just across from the border of Queensland, where there is some high strangeness around things like the Min lights. But a beautiful port town on a beautiful river, and with a strong and thriving Indigenous community and a reserve where a lot of the aunties that I know grew up on and have told me lots of their stories. But when I go to visit Bourke, it's usually for work, to work directly with the Indigenous communities, and a great time for me just to write songs in preparation for our upcoming album. One thing about research is that sometimes a question about one type of event can lead you to other things. So for me, it was being told by the young people about a river monster called Tinnagulia. And as I'm asking about Tinnagulia, I'm being told that they can't swim in summer because Tinnagulia will come and get them. And I start thinking perhaps this is something that the parents or the elders tell the kids so they won't go swimming and they won't drown. But as I asked about this, 2 or 3 other stories about town started coming up from multiple people in multiple parts of town. One of them was the man-faced dog. So as I'm asking these questions, I'm being told as people walk around town, particularly at night, just on dusk or after it gets dark, eventually, if you're walking from the reserve back to town or you're just wandering around the outskirts of town, you will get followed by a dog. And there's plenty of dogs in Bourke. But as this one gets closer to you, you're going to see that it actually has the face of a man. Not just a dog that looks like a person, but it has a man's face. Now, this was a town where people's houses had paintings and pictures of Jesus on the wall. People grew up going to church. People prayed and people believed. But they were under this huge spiritual oppression, which will come out in some of the other stories I'm telling. And at first, my disbelief of, this probably just looks like a man, or maybe people are under the influence. As more and more people started talking about it, it became apparent that there is something so supernatural about this being that people are actually swearing blind that they're seeing a dog come up to them with a man's face, which leaves them running away in terror. So apart from writing songs, I spent probably 5 of those days driving around town to different parts praying in the name of Jesus Christ for this town to have its oppression broken. Because ultimately, where Indigenous communities are captive to this spiritual stuff, it is once again, like in the Gospel of Mark, like in all the other Gospels, Jesus turns up, and it's his name and his authority and the authority of God through him that breaks the power of evil. Stay tuned on this channel for more stories.